for being here in my office. I'm not sure how you came in, why you're here, but I acknowledge that and I thank you. I want to welcome you to my space. This is a place that I created for not only healing, which you probably would have assumed, me being a doctor, but you're also going to learn here. I make it my very fundamental effort to ensure that my patients learn something when they come in. And of course, as I grow and I continue to grow, what I'm honored and happy to do is help you facilitate your own growth as well. So welcome. Now, I'm going to talk about something, and I'm not going to tell you what yet, that was very profound for me because it changed my whole way of thinking about life. And if I want one thing for you guys to take home, it's this one nugget of what health is. But before I talk about that, I'm going to talk about music. We have any music fans in the room? Yeah. I love the Beatles. I do, as you heard in my introduction. And they changed my life. They taught me the power of positive thinking, but they also allowed me to introspect a little bit. And I was thinking about music the other day when I was listening to them, and I hear John wailing, and I hear Paul with his harmony, and Paul's also on the bass, and George on the rhythm section, and Ringo on the drums. And I'm thinking, wow, these guys are all doing something completely different. They're not doing the same thing. Like, one's playing the drums, one's playing guitar, one's playing the bass, yet it sounds so good. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, have you heard the Beatles? And it sounds so good. I'm like, why is it doing it? Because they're finding a way to work independently of each other towards a greater cause. They're doing things independently, yet they form one whole unit. So think about that as I progress. But now, that got me thinking about music a little more, and I started expanding it, and I started thinking about the orchestra. And the orchestra, they've got the brass section, the tuba and the trombone and the trumpets, and they're doing their own thing. And then you got the woodwinds playing a completely different thing. That's your saxophone, your clarinet, and then you've got the percussion, holding the beat, the timpani and the snare drum and the gong and the bass. And again, it's the same kind of thing. It's like these are all different sections of musicians playing something completely different. Yet when I take a step back and I listen with my ear, it sounds so good. Two questions, how and why? What is it that these seemingly different systems, or what is it that makes these seemingly different systems come together towards this whole unified whole? And I got to thinking, you know what it is? It's that magical man up top. It's the conductor. The conductor, the unsung hero of the orchestra, in my opinion. The guy that nobody's even looking at. He's got his back to the audience. Yet he's holding it down. He is telling them when to speed up, when to slow down, when to stop, when to start. Okay, now go, and okay, no, you're going too fast there, you're going too slow, and get a little louder. Get a little louder, get a little louder. Into that beautiful resolution. Like, that's magical. When I hear a good symphony resolve itself, like, that's magical. And now here's the fine point. Here's the take home. The body, the human body, has the exact same processes going on. We have several, and I mean several, seemingly independent systems working together in parallel, meaning one's doing something here, one's doing something here, one's doing something here, seemingly apart from each other towards this greater whole. For example, your stomach. Let's call that the brass section. The tuba, churning the food that you eat and making its way throughout the intestinal tract and then coming out the other end. Brass section, sure. What about your breath? The breathing apparatus, the lungs. Well, it's got nothing to do with the stomach as far as I can tell. Me sitting here in this chair 5 years ago. And that's kind of like the woodwinds, like the saxophone, the clarinet, the flute, playing different music. And then you got the heartbeat, the backbeat, the Ringo Starr, if you will.